I've had enough of gray skies. I've had Hello, everybody. I had some coffee before I played. That really did it. I don't know what kind of coffee that was, but that was good. Made me play fast. Plus, I practiced this morning. Last week, I didn't play so good. Yeah! Take that! You bloody drums. It's good to be here. Thanks for joining me. And we're going on year 2 here. How about that, right? And once again, I'd like to thank Chromacast and Sawtooth Drums who sponsor this every week. And it's great on Tuesday because it seems like all the gigs we're doing flyouts. And I usually leave Wednesday or Thursday. You know, tomorrow I'm leaving to go to Florida to do Rock Fantasy Camp. All right. And this one is with Tico Torres. And who else is on it? From Living Color, Vernon Reed. And the big guy, Joe Perry from Aerosmith. So that should be fun. Walk this way. I always heard walk this way, this way. Walk this way, play this way. But my friend said, no, it's this. Then I said, no, it's this. No, that's after coffee. But it is this. So Joe Perry, and funny story about that is when I was, what year was this? 19. I was 19 years old, I think. It was the Rocks Tour, Aerosmith Rocks Tour, so 76. Yeah, I was 19 years old. I was playing with Rick Derringer, and we had an album, our first album out, 76, called Derringer, and we were opening for Aerosmith. And it was such a long time ago that I was like a kid, you know. And I remember being in a hotel room in Chicago. The whole band, we were in there with the manager, Steve Paul, and the tour manager. And he said, we got the Aerosmith tour, and we're going here, Miami, New York, here, Florida, L.A., San Francisco. And I'm like, wow! And I jumped up and down on the couch like I was 12 years old. I don't do that anymore. I go, oh, shit, really? We're going to all those places? How are we getting there? What kind of comfort level is that? See, you get wiser as you stay in this business. But anyway, so we were on the tour, and they gave us laminates and this and that, you know. They weren't the laminates you see today. They're really high-end stuff. They were just pretty basic stuff. And then playing... where were we? In Fresno with Last in Line, and some guy comes up to me. Now, this is about 3 years ago, and he goes, hey, I got something for you. I'm like, okay. And my immediate thoughts are, is it something big? Is it something heavy? Because we're traveling, you know, I get a suitcase and that kind of stuff. You always think, what is it? So he goes, I'm going to give you this. What this is an Aerosmith laminate from 1976, and it's mine. So I must have lost this sucker, and somehow his brother wound up with it. I don't know if he bought it on the internet or something. It was on the internet at one point. Here, check it out. Ask me. at all that hair. What happened? So that's what it is. It's just a laminate. It's a card with a laminate in there. So this was lost for how many years? 76, like 44 years. No, about when he gave it to me, it was about 41 years. I lost this. I didn't even realize I lost it. No wonder I couldn't get into the shows. So he gave this to me, and I freaked out. I went, oh, my God. And on the back's a picture of me in the bathroom. On the toilet. And if you look real close, you could see everything. That's why I took it away. So I'm going to show Joe this. I'm going to bring it. Say, remember this? So this thing was lost for 41 years. Maybe not 41, maybe 39. And there's a picture of me on the toilet on the other side. Go figure. My God. So I thought I'd tell you that story. So I'm off to Florida for 3 days. That's a cool beat. What that is, that's kind of like a Ramble On Zeppelin feel. And you're playing the bass drums on the ends. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. See? Hear that bass drum growling? I think because it's hitting this a little bit. But I like a little dirt in it. It's like a guitar having some distortion. When you hit it hard, you don't hear it that much. So it's just the beat based on alternating between your right hand on the hi-hat and your bass drum. Like, this is simple. So the way to start is with the bass drum. Say like that. So that's a cool feel rather than the old straight. Or you could play the old straight rock beat, go into something like that, and then go back. So that's a cool approach, just alternating bass drums on the ends and snares on 2 and 4. So those songs you heard, one of them was Monsters and Heroes that Carmine and I played together. We do it live, and it's on our album, which is called Appice, a Piece, A-P-P-I-C-E, whatever you want to call it. And that was Monsters and Heroes. And the second song was an album pretty much we're finished with Jim Crean, Stephen Hound on guitar, Jim Crean on vocals, and myself. And actually, I don't even know the song, what the name of that one is. But it's slow and heavy. I'm going to talk about playing that slow. But I like to do a shout out if my sister Terry is watching at home. She had a little medical visit in the hospital today, and it was something she knew about. And so I want to wish her well. I'll call you later, Teresa. Terry, who had to put up with me, she's older than me, 3 years. So she had to put up with me in the bass drum learning how to play the drums, And probably in the beginning I wasn't that good. It was like... Then the week later, I was like this. Nah, it was more than a week later. So anyway, I wish you well, Teresa. Terry Grassi. She's my CPA. She's just retired too. She's done my taxes ever since the first tax she done. I walked in with a bag of receipts and one of those glasses on with the big nose and the mustache. Like, uh-oh, she's in trouble. So second song was a real slow song, like. So there's an art to playing slow, you know. It's cool to play fast. I like to play a lot of fast. Those are paradiddle. Singles. I like to play all that stuff. But there's an art to playing slow. You gotta keep it nice and steady and let it breathe, you know. And there's so many things you can play in a slow song like that. If the tempo. You can play like quarter notes. Simple. Or you can play eighth notes. Or you can play triplets, I guess. One and a two and a one and a two. Okay, so you one and a two and a... Now 16ths. What else? Rough? How's that? Those are rough, spread out. So there's so many different ways to play them, but you gotta keep it steady. It's all those rolls like, when I'm down here, it's not rushing at all. So I'm hearing this all the time. Then when you get better, you combine it. See, these are triplets. One and a two and a three and a four. And then you combine them with 16th notes. One and a two and a three and a four. One and a two and a three and a four. How do you learn that stuff? The book that's over there on that music stand called Syncopation, written in the 40s. Ted Reed is the author of that book. And those are just combinations. You know, to triplets and to 16th notes. And now you go, okay, I got that. What can I do with that? So you get like this. Yeah, you can break them up like that. Well, wait a minute. So there's all different ways you could develop things, you know. That's what I do when I take something. I'll learn it if it's just that. So good. To try to come up with different licks, because I'm all about the licks, you know. I told you this before, and that's my latest one, which I'm still having trouble getting it fast. What this is So I saw Buddy Rich do a solo, and his right hand went over to the floor tom, and something like that came out. And I went, wow, man, that's fast. So I've been doing. See, these are paradiddles. Right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. Right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. See? 5 notes. That's what that is. The other one is 4 notes, which is like a triplet. They're cool licks because you can just do them with one hand. Ladies and gentlemen, we have La La Lollipop in the house. Hello, La La.
Hello.
She's going to ask questions that I can't see over there because it's far away.
Yes,
and I would probably need binoculars. All right, so we're going to take questions, and you could still ask questions. We're looking through the list. And, once again, I want to thank Sawtooth Drums and ChromaCast. I'll tell you quickly about these drums. These are hickory. That's why they sound so great. Listen to that. That's hickory drums, 6-ply, all hickory. No filler, no cholesterol, no animal fat. 6 plies of pure hickory. And the hoops are all die cast. The lugs are all steel. And it's just fantastic kit. And this is the higher end kit that they have. And I'm just Joe Fuca, who's the owner of the company, sending me the kit for the East Coast. Because we just played on the East Coast 2 weeks ago with Brett Michaels, and I had to use the drums I have there, which are the Command Series, which sound great too. That's the Sawtooth Command Series. That's a cheaper set. This is the more expensive set. And the snare drums, this is a 6.5. Same thing, and it just got a really beefy strainer. And for some reason, this head that's on it, which is an Evans Heavyweight, it doesn't want to wear. It's going through the white stuff. I'm starting to see clear, which is weird. That was like from years ago, but it still sounds great. I even tried different snare drums. This one still sounds better. So check it out online, the Hickory set from Sawtooth. And this color is like a dark burgundy chocolate, chocolate chip, brownie. I like doing that. Chocolate syrup. It really is. It looks a little purple on what I see it on with the light on it. It's a red light, so it's turning it purple. It's a great looking set of drums. And sizes are 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18. And the bass drums are 24 by 14, which is real fast. When it's 14, 16, 18, they get a little bit slower. It's just a great sounding drums. Recording live, I played live with them on the West Coast, and they sound fantastic. Skins I got them are Evans G2s. Cymbals a AA Sabian, all medium crashes. This 16, that's an 18. This is a 20 ride, 14 hats. And the sticks are ChromaCast. These are 5B. Turn this way. I always say, you know why? You know why I don't play? That's for girls. I'm only kidding. All the great drummers play like this. And what else about these drums? I love them. I love playing these drums. So check it out online. This is the Hickory set, and they come in the light tan color, which is more like a maple color too. So, all right, let's take a question here. Oh, and the hardware is Sawtooth. On the boom, Chromacast. Chromacast makes the hardware. It's the same companies, kind of the same company. Joe owns both of them, and these are great cymbal stands. They have a one. You can't see it, but it is on the stand. One lever that you could loosen and turn it this way and up and down. You don't have to fiddle with two wing nuts, you know. So that takes too long, especially if you're playing and you go, you know what, it moved. You loosen it and you get it where you want, tighten it. All in one shot. Really cool stuff. So check it out online. All right, let's take the first question from Lala.
Lala.
Lollipop.
Yes.
Okay.
There is somebody here wants to know if there's still openings for the Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp this weekend.
There probably is. Go on their Rock and Roll Fantasy site, camp, whatever, and see what they have up there. And there's probably a phone number there you can call. It's going to be fun, you know. On this camp, I'm not playing. The last camp I did, I had to play because the drummer had COVID and he couldn't make it. Now things are settling down. So actually, I have two drummers, and looking forward to it. I don't have to play, so I could sit there and tell everybody what to do. I like that. And so it's going to be a great camp. When Joe comes up, we're going to play a couple songs with him, and then we play 2 live gigs. So check it out. That's a good experience. Okay.
Chase said he broke 2 sticks.
Chase broke 2 sticks?
Yes.
Well, how are you going to play?
I don't know.
Play with your hands? I don't like doing that. Well, that was easy, but some guys like Brian Tichy and Bonham played like with his hands at a certain point. Man, it's afraid of screwing up your hands, your bones in your hands. Well, Chase, you got to get more sticks. And that's a good sign you're breaking sticks. But if you buy cheap sticks, it's probably going to eventually break. If you buy good sticks, they'll last longer. These are 5B. And these are Chromacast sticks, and these are fantastic. You know, I've been using these guys for a while. They get eaten up, but I like them when they're all screwed up here. And also, what I do, don't do this because it's not good for your cymbals. I like to have a little edge, roughness on this part since I play butt end. You know, so I usually take the stick and go right on the edge and make dents in here. But I can do that because I know everybody in the cymbal company. And, or you could just, you know, whack it, you know, with a screwdriver or something. I don't know. Even on the rim, you know, and get a little bit more grip on it. That's what I do. So, okay, next.
How fast can you play a paradiddle?
Not very fast. My left hand slow. Trick is when you can't play it that fast, you keep playing, but you play something else. Then you go back. You know, you go from paradiddle. That's the trick. There's some guys. I watched some guys online. I said I wanted to see these fast paradiddles. These guys, it was so fast it was stupid. It was like, what? But they're kind of bouncing it too. They're rebound. I don't really do that. I'm a rock drummer. So I'm using the hands, you know. That's a good exercise. It's a paradiddle. Right, left, right, left. It's that spread across the tom. Beginning of a paradiddle's on the tom. Right, left, right, left. So, okay, next question.
What's your opinion on the electronic kits? They have a Yamaha TX 452.
That sounds good. I don't know what the hell that is, but it's a Yamaha. They make great stuff, and they come a long way. I had a electronic kit, 12, 15 years ago. It was an old Roland, and it sounded good, but there wasn't a lot of sounds to it. Now, these days, it sounds like real drums. The only thing you're missing is the feel of the skin. Dynamics, rim. Same with the tom. It's just doesn't replace the drum set. There's nothing like the drum set. But if you can't play, if you're in an apartment or in your house, those are great substitutes. You put the headphones on, you play at 2 in the morning, and they're good. And they sound great recorded. So if you can get to a drum set, try to split it up, So you got the feel of the real drums. Okay, La La.
Okay. Did you play on the song Sloopy?
Did I play on Hang On Sloopy?
Yeah.
No. Hang Sloopy. No, that was way before my time. I don't know, when did that come out? In the 60s? I was probably in diapers. You can't play in diapers. It's not comfortable. Okay, next.
When drumming, and you're concentrating on the task or what's for dinner?
What's for dinner?
What's for dinner?
Go on, let's see. You know what? On the road, sometimes, we don't eat properly or we don't eat at all. So backstage, just give me some potato chips. I go up and play. And then by the last song, you go, are they getting a pizza? Here's what's going through my mind. Thoughts. Maybe not only me. Did they say they're getting a pizza here? What time's the kitchen closed? Maybe I'll get a quesadilla or a burger and fries. But it's kind of like 1 in the morning. Burger and fries pretty heavy, Maybe more potato chips. I don't know. Yeah. I'm not hungry now. I had a little sandwich before, so I'm home. This is comfortable. But we're not going to go out to eat because we got to get up at 3:30 in the morning to catch a 7 a.m. flight. So,
No.
that's the joys of, man, you guys, what a life. Wow. Yeah, I'm getting up at 3:30. I can't get ready in like 20 minutes. Only if I had to. I overslept, but set 2 alarms. And then I like to get up. I make 1 cup of coffee, something to eat, and wake up. I'm like an hour, easy. And then I'm almost ready to go. Yeah, because I got to drive down there. So it's cool. So we'll eat light. A little light eating like this. One time, a friend of mine, Eric Norland, I was doing his album, some songs on his album. He's more prog, So he wanted me to play this slide stick, I guess you call this. I went, I'm not playing that. I vowed never to play that live or on the studio, So I just played. Whatever the beat was. Hello. Okay, next question.
When you are tired, are your legs like heavier to play?
When I'm tired, are my legs heavy to play?
Yeah.
No, not really. Sometimes when you go up on stage, me, tired, I play better. Go figure. I go, man, like before we're going on, I can go many times, I can go right to sleep. Not only me, I heard this with other musicians too. It's like a perfect time to go take a quick nap. But you go, all right, we got to go. And as soon as you get on stage and the audience and the intro tape and the whole thing, it's adrenaline kicks in. And then you fly. And even if you're hurting, if you hurt yourself somehow, unless it's severe, but you don't feel it, you know. You just go up and play. You listen to what you're playing. The music does it, you know. That's why people like music. It affects you, you know. You listen to a song, it makes you feel good. It makes you feel bad, you know. I don't know, but usually feel good and inspired. So, okay, next question.
Are you releasing new music soon, and where do I find it?
We're last in line. We got an EP coming out soon, hopefully by the summer, and then we got an album coming out in the beginning of next year. And then the song you heard before, Jim Crean and I, that album should be coming out sometime this year. And if anybody hears that it came out, let me know. That's the way the music business is. And Carmine and I are working on a couple of new songs. We're trying to get a deal going with doing another album. We did one album. It was really good, and that was like 2016. So keep an eye out for that, too. Okay, next.
Do you study and play a lot of rudiments?
Do I study and play? I play a lot of rudiments. Not a lot, but certain ones, like paradiddles. I have a section over there, which is a drum pad, the one I like with soft rubber, and then, music stand. I put, right now, that syncopation book is up there. That's something I learned from when I was 10 and went for drum lessons. And I'll put a drum book called All American Drummer, and that's rudiments, marching stuff. And that one now, it's been so long, I go, Radamaque. Some of it, I go, what is that? What the hell is going on there? And the other book is Stick Control, you know. I love rough triplets. 1 and a 2. 1 and a 2. 1 and a 2. Right? That's the same rough triplet. 4 notes. 1 and a 2. Is that 4 notes? 1 and a 2. Yeah, 4 notes. And then what I do is go play it across the toms. 1 and a 2, and the other one was 1 and a 2, 1 and a 2. And these, something Cobham did. Yeah, so those, and then the paradiddle. All that shit. So, practice your rudiments. Okay, 1 or 2 more questions. Okay.
You played Symptom of the Universe in Costa Mesa in 1992 with Rob Halford. Was it challenging?
Oh, yeah, I love that song. See, that song doesn't sound good going. I think Bill played quarter. It's like a drum solo, you know, so you can't really mess it up like I did. So it's that kind of thing, and it's very challenging, but it's a cool song. So when I'm starting to get a little overwhelmed by singles, go into triplets and different things. I recorded a version of that with Mr. Mike Carr, who's online here, and you guys might know him. He's a fabulous guy. He owns all the gold chili places in Ohio. Excuse me. And I recorded a version with him. Actually, I just found it on my phone the other day, listening to it at the gym. But we did a little too slow, Mike. Needs to be more urgent. that's kind of song you don't want to play with a click. You know, it should move and get faster and stuff like that. You know, not always with the click. Okay, let's take one more question.
What is the oldest kit you own?
What is the oldest kit I own? You know what? The oldest kit. I don't have any more DW kits left. I sold my last one to a special friend this year. I have one drum in there from 1986. It's a Tama. It's an 18-inch floor tom. And this sucker's in the Tama box. It's in my garage. It's in the Tama box. And I opened the box, and inside is the drum with the factory plastic bag wrapped. Never been open. That's probably one of the oldest drums there. And then there's a couple. I never kept the host kit, like the Holy Diver kit or the Mob Rules kit. Stupid me. Call me stupid. I should have kept those kits, you know. It's part of rock history, those kits. And I didn't, but I have a couple of toms, which I think are from the Mob Rules tour. And I have a snare drum, I think, is from the Mob Rules tour. But I have a bass drum, Ludwig bass drum, 24 by 14 maple. These are all maple drums. And that's from the Mob Rules album, and maybe Holy Diver as well. You know, back then we didn't have cell phones. You know, like now you can take a picture of everything. You can take a picture of this, take a picture of that, take a picture of the mics you're using. You go in the studio, I take a picture of the drums and the mics, what drums I'm using, the snare drum. So you could keep a record of all this stuff. But back then it was like, oh, take a picture. I don't have film. I got to go to the drugstore or something and get film. Oh, man. And the pictures didn't always turn out that great. So I got some pictures, but, you know, didn't keep a good record of it. You know, I should have. But that's what I have. And those are from probably 1982, stuff like that, from that stuff. Before that, Derringer, man, I don't know what happened to those drums. I think I was using a Marine Pearl kit. Not even a kit. I had the maple bass drum and Marine Pearl, because Buddy Rich used Marine Pearl. My first choice was maple drums. They didn't have any back then. All the maple wood went to Japan for bowling alleys. It became very popular. So I went up to that was Sam Ash in Brooklyn. I was a little kid. And I'll take the other ones, you know. So I got 4 toms. They didn't match with the bass drum. So, but that's what I had. So. But then I got, how many snare drums are over there? I got like a lot of snare drums, different snare drums. So I got this snare drum in what is that, 8-inch? It's a beast over there. But it sits too high for me, so I can't play like that. I sit low, snare's low. Okay, so anyway, I want to thank all you guys, and I know a lot of you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. I love doing this. I always say that. And I'll be at the Rock Camp on the weekend. Be back next Tuesday with another episode of whatever this is called, Behind the Kit. Lala?
Yeah.
What's behind
Yes.
the kit? You know what's behind the kit? This is a door.
The door.
This is a door behind the kit. It goes out to the hall. There's another door over there. So, all right. Anyway, you guys be safe, and thanks for joining me. See you next week. Thank you, Sawtooth Drums and Chromacast and Joe and Tanya and everybody. What a great company this is. Check out their website, Sawtooth World. They make basses, guitars. They make everything. It's a very, very exciting company. It's fantastic. So I'll see you next week.